Hello, guys and girls. We have girls. I had a comment off a female supporter. So hello, guys and girls. This time, I think like 1% or 2% of my viewers are girls. So shout out to you lot too. So right, we have back day. Where can I start? Obviously, as you can see, we are starting with abs. I have done abs on back day for as long as I can remember. Going back to my early 20s, showing my age. I am, just for reference, I'm 40, so just to give you a bit of a background to what the exercises I do, how long I've done them, how effective they are, just so you can kind of make your own mental notes if it helps your own training or not. But anyway, for me, I remember being like 21, 22. I didn't, up until that point, abs was just like sit-ups and leg raises and planks and all that kind of stuff. And I remember just it was my training partner. He was very much like, you have to train everything, which is correct. Everything's a chain. Every muscle group is linked to the next and the previous. So everything, if you get a weak link, it's going to hurt your physique in some way. So we started training it back then. I think it was only once a week. Not very hard, to be honest. I think it was pretty much still just abs, sit-ups, laying crunches, leg raises, hanging leg raises sometimes. That was it. It wasn't until, because at that time, and it still is, the concept of ab training for a lot of bodybuilders is, well, they're not going anywhere. You don't need to train them. You don't want to make them grow. You don't want to make your midsection thick. Just do a few sit-ups and leg raises in prep. I guess that's how people thought of it and still think of it, a lot of people, to this day, which I think is incorrect. And it wasn't up until my first and second show. In fact, my first season I did. I remember I made it to the British finals, and my abs were good. Not like they are now, but they were decent. Because I'd done abs from when I was 10, because I did kickboxing, and our kickboxing instructor destroyed us with ab training every single week. But anyway, my abs were decent, but my ab control, my midsection control, was very poor. And I was nowhere near this size. Obviously, I was probably I was about 200 pounds on stage when I first competed, 202. So 40, 50 pounds smaller than I am now, and I couldn't control my midsection, so it wasn't like a size thing. It was pure midsection control, like mind muscle connection, the abdominal endurance, fatigue, and again, that mind muscle connection, because I didn't train them that hard. I remember people shouting from the crowd like, "Sass, pull your gut in," and "Sass, tense your abs, Sass, breathe in." And it's like, holy shit, I can't do it. It was too much hard work. So from that day onwards, I started training my abs 2 to 3 times a week, and I wanted thick abs. Like, I wanted thick, deep cuts in my abs, and to me, it just made sense to make them grow. And I remember, I don't know if it was a tip off someone, something I read, they just said, like, just don't train your obliques heavy, or don't train your obliques at all, because that's when you get thick. But abs, that's fine. I mean, how big are they going to get? Showing off my watch. I do get the odd comment about my watches, so I'm consciously going to show you guys when I wear one of them. I tend to wear 1 or 2 quite regularly. That's my Boulevard. One of my favorites, especially for the price point. It's a great watch. Anyway, so I started training them heavy, ab crunches, nothing crazy. 3 to 6 sets on back day, and on shoulder day, sometimes on leg day, but I tend to start leg day now with calves. It starts to warm my legs up, starts to get blood into that area. But yeah, it made sense doing it on back day because it balances out your lower back. And every other day I do calves, so that's just how it works out throughout the week. But anyway, I started training them heavy, anywhere as low as 8 reps up to 20 to 30 reps progressively. And yeah, the next time I got on stage, my abs control was better. My abs looked a lot crazier, deeper cuts, and just more impressive. And as I get leaner, you can just see the cuts get deeper and deeper. So since then, I've just been doing abs every week, year round, whether it's off season, whether it's not. Off season, I go heavy, go to failure, or close to. And yeah, that's my ab training history. So I urge you guys to try it. I think it just improves the ab mind muscle control, so that when you're on stage, because you're consistently training them, they're used to just being flexed and contracted, so you kind of almost don't need to think about it. And I've seen a lot of bodybuilders fix their midsection control just by adding in hard ab training. And again, I just don't like doing a million sit-ups and leg raises. I just don't think it overloads the muscle like it should. So anyway, so yeah, here we are, back day with some abs. Start with nice old school wide grip pull downs, chubby face in full flow. This is as chubby as it's going to get, because I am nearing, well, I am at 275. I'm fluctuating between 270 to 275, so weight's gone back up since Christmas, and I'm probably going to keep things here and kind of allow my body to sit at this size and weight for now until prep starts. Almost like just letting it marinate, letting it create that solid set point, so that when I hand things over to Chris, I will, as soon as he starts to cut food, my body will respond quite nicely without having to force it too much, because it's constantly wanting to drop weight. As soon as I miss a couple of calories here and there, it tells me the next day in the gym and on the scales. So yeah, that's it. So as you saw, I didn't pull all the way down with the lat pull downs. I don't really feel, with wide grip I mean, if it was narrower, then it would be a different elbow positioning and a different range of motion. With that, I like stopping when the bar's kind of mid face level, and I like the stretch. Anyway, 3 to 4 sets on that. We try to film as many sets as we can, but I don't want the video to be, an hour long, so we miss the odd set. Old school seated row. This one's a great stretch. I get a nice full stretch, and because of the height of where the cable sits and where my feet are positioned, I can really drive my elbows down into my ribs and contract my lower lats. Great movement. This is possibly one of my favorite all-time back movements. It's just, if you get a good angle, you can kind of see, look at that stretch. My lower back all the way out, and then all the way back. Not too far back, not overly forward. Kind of just in the middle. My legs are bent enough for me to be able to get that stretch in my lower back without my hamstrings kind of getting stressed. Yeah, so massaging my hip flexors. Every time I get above 270, my hip flexors, my hamstrings, my lower back, they don't like it. So that's the name of the game. But yeah, so yeah, 270, 275, holding it there. The plan is to kind of holding things here for a week or 2 or 3, and then I'll hand things over to Chris. It should be around about the 10-week out mark from the first show that I plan on doing, which I will tell you guys. It's going to be, I've not signed the contracts yet, so once I'm in prep and I get like 2 to 3 weeks into prep, that's kind of when I sign the contract for that first show. I don't know why, don't ask. I have no idea. It's like I'm not 100% committed yet, even though I have mentally. But when I hand things over to Chris, that's kind of when I signed the dotted line. And the first show is going to be Germany, FIBO, in April. And so around about 10 weeks out, I'll email Chris. I'll probably say something like, should we do a 10-week prep? And he'll most likely say, yes, let's do it. Because he's as crazy as me. I mean, who does a 10-week prep? Me. I was even thinking of pushing it to like 9 or 8 weeks. But he might turn around and say, Sass, you look terrible, which he won't. We need to pick a later show, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do the Germany. I liked Germany. I loved where I stayed. Cologne is a great city, great people, atmosphere, food, just clean, you know, like a pleasant place to just walk around, whether it's midnight, whether it's midday, it doesn't really matter. I really liked it. Easy to get around. FIBO is a bit crazy. I don't quite fancy competing at a show at such a huge expo. As an expo athlete, or you know, someone there to see the sights, it looks awesome. As a competitor, it's a little bit too hectic. You have to kind of walk through the expo floor for the prejudging. You're kind of in the middle of the expo for prejudging, which kind of pulls in the crowds. Last year, getting on stage with Andrew Jacked and Sergio, it was like that pulled in the crowd. You could see the difference from the categories before us, and then as soon as we got on stage, the crowds kind of got like wider and deeper, and they were like behind the stage and everything. And because it was such a crazy battle with me and Andrew that nobody expected, the crowd were vocal. They were like hyped up. There was so much energy in the room. I could like feel it, and I was almost like, surely this isn't for me. But as soon as I got off stage, it was for me. It was like, Sass, you're pushing Andrew. You're beating Andrew at the prejudging. And even Andrew kind of came out and shook my hand. He goes, shit, well done. It, like, after I saw the look on his face, I was like, oh, right, okay. I must have looked okay. And yeah, so that was kind of cool. And then obviously the night show was at the theatre. So that was kind of like a private VIP member type atmosphere, which was cool. So it's a great show, great event, great city, close to home, like an hour and a half airplane flight. So kind of a no-brainer. It is early in the year. Again, I haven't had a long off season, but I think with everything where I'm at with my career, my life, my routines, I don't want a super long off season. I don't need a super long off season. I don't do well with super long off seasons anymore. That was me in my earlier part of my career when I was doing the building, the heavy lifting, the foundation work, so to speak, putting the climbing the ladder. So that was different. I was younger. My body was able to kind of carry the weight, even though, 270, 275 is one of my heaviest weights. But I feel like at 40 compared to, say, 25, 30, even 35, it's a different kind of situation. For me personally, I don't like it as much. Like, blood pressure kind of pushes up a little bit over 270. Naturally, genetically, I have thick blood, so I have to watch that. And it just doesn't really benefit my day-to-day, like the kids, the business, helping around the house, which I rarely do, but, it's kind of, you're immobilized almost. I'm not a big structured guy, so 270, 280 for me is a lot of weight. And yeah, like when you pass 40, you have to be careful. And I don't see the point in kind of just getting fluffier, carrying too much excess weight. At my age, my muscle mass isn't going to increase by all that much. And the juice isn't worth the squeeze, so to speak. So, speaking to Bonac, speaking to Brendan, they all kind of transition into kind of staying leaner and lighter in their off seasons, and that's kind of where I'm at. I would much rather have a longer contest season and do more shows rather than have a longer off season, get real heavy, and then hammer it down and kind of just be, I don't know, toxic and worn out because my body just can't handle those extremes as much. My extreme I can handle now. Being lean, that's fine. That was a breeze last year. Not a breeze, but you know what I mean. It was manageable. Like I could just kind of stay in that state week after week, month after month. And I was fine. I was enjoying it. Mentally, you're sharper in prep. Mental sharpness, mental focus for me is way more important right now because I want to get up and I want to get onto my clients. I want to give them 100% of my focus and attention. I want them to be at their best, whatever level they're at, regardless of what time they email me. Whether it's 5 in the morning when I wake up or it's 10 p.m. just before I go to bed, I want to be able to happily, reply and do what I need to do with them. Because they're my main focus as well as the competing. So, after competing, it's my coaching that's going to carry me forward. So, anyway, so we are rambling because this is what I do best, ramble. Anyway, my reason for not too long of an off season, health risks in mind, end of my career, don't want to push too far, and I even though I didn't get heavier than last year, I am leaner at this weight, so I'm betting on the fact that I've got at least 2 to 3 pounds of new muscle, and on my physique, and I know my upper body is much fuller than last year, and it kind of matches last year, matches my low body a bit more, so that's where we're at. And so this was the training session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As you saw, pretty basic. The dumbbell rows, I don't go heavy, but my stance, if you noticed, it was like a 90 degree at my hip. My legs were pretty much straight. I don't bend my knees all that much. I stretch almost all the way down to the floor from hip level, and I will bring the dumbbell back up to my hip. So if you try that form, you realize that it's you don't need to go to 60, 70, 80 kilograms. I mean, some people do. Hadi does. I'm sure some of you guys do, but for me that was plenty towards the end of my session. And nice finisher here with the assisted pull-ups. Unfortunately, I can't do bodyweight pull-ups at the moment. I mean, I probably could, but it would destroy my right shoulder. So I kind of do every grip on this pull-up bar, one set to failure with some assistance, big stretch at the bottom, controlled reps, and my rep range and my rep speed, as you see, differs on every exercise. Just how I feel the muscle the most. Do I need to speed the rep up? Do I need to slow it down? Do I need to lengthen the range of motion? Do I need to shorten it? Everything is variable and it changes exercise to exercise for me. So I go by feel, and so should you. And lift safe, lift hard. And yeah, so I'm going to wrap up the video in the gym in a minute. Just kind of recap the session. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the breakfast pre-workout before this, and the next episode will be another food one. And I'm going to try and do a full day of eating. It's just so hard with the schedule right now, but I'm going to do my best for you guys. If you have any requests in terms of the video, kind of the lifestyle episode, obviously I'm alternating between training and lifestyle, which is just food basically. I don't quite know how to film the rest of my lifestyle. It's quite boring really, unless you want to watch me mess around with the kids, watching TV, having food with them sometimes. It's not really much else goes on in my life other than just work, and I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me send emails or watch the stock markets and watch the economy news, financial news all day long. But anyway, yeah, give me some comments, give me some suggestions, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Okay, so that's a wrap for back day. Pretty self-explanatory as usual. We are into the new year, so training is picking up. Volume still on the lower end, but it is going up. So as you see today, I did predominantly 2 work sets for each body part, but more warm-ups. With my warm-ups have more reps in them now, so that's a way of increasing volume. And then as I get closer to prep, my volume will go to maybe 3 sets, maybe 4, or it might not. Very fluid, very instinct driven training, as some of you know. So 5 exercises. Started with the abs. I always do abs on back day. I feel like it's a nice balance. It balances out the back work to hit the muscle that supports the back from the other side of your body. Just made sense to me. So we hit abs 3 or 4 work sets at the beginning with the trusty rope crunches. It's pretty much the only ab exercise I do, unless there's an ab machine free. I like the crunch machines. 10 to 20 rep range, minimal rest period. Minimal rest period throughout the training, really. The only rest was like when me and Jay would swap over, have a little chat about the set or something random. And then that's it, pretty much. No faffing around. Abs onto good old wide grip pull downs. 2 work sets because I did go heavy. Stack the machine plus a little bit of weight. 8 reps. 2 work sets on the cable row, seated cable row. Again, basic, old school. The Nautilus one just is a really nice angle on it. I can really stretch out my back when I'm extending, and then as I pull in, it's just at the right height to really get my lower lats engaged. Same with the lat pull down, it's just a nice height. The levers are just the perfect length. Old school machines always do it for me. Yeah, then on to reverse grip pull downs, hammer strength, basic again. So with that, I explained in the video a little bit. I think I will try to voice over it, but knee on the bench instead of sitting in it. I just feel it better with my shoulder issues. 2 work sets on that. Dumbbell row, stood upright more so with my legs, and almost a 90-degree angle at my waist and a big stretch. So that's why we don't go heavy, as well as the fact that we don't have the heavy dumbbells, but don't really need to go heavy with that kind of movement, with that stretch on it, and minimal leg involvement. So yeah, and then on to pull-ups to finish with, which makes it 5 exercises. Is that right, Jen? 5? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And on the assisted pull-up machine, there's 4 different angles of grip. So we did a set on each. I did quite a heavy assisted because I'm weak on pull-ups, which I'm trying to work on. Jay did almost body weight. Showing off with his fireman strength. And that was it. Nice basic back workout. Nothing more to it really. It wasn't 100% planned, but I just know what works for me. I know what my body's been telling me the last couple of days, and I go in and attack. So there you go, guys. Back day, off season, 270 pound, and the next video will be food. Catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Let's go.